they should keep away from uh, anywhere where there is anything happening, because at times they go and stand up for others also. It may not be of concern to them, or it may not be a matter of theirs, but they will butt in and come in the middle of a situation or an issue which has nothing to do with them, but because they believe in justice and they feel that if anybody is being unjust with anybody, then without even knowing the issue, without even understanding the matter, they will go and stand with the person who's at the receiving end. So this is also one thing that, matlab, it's like throwing the axe on their foot themselves. Hi, this is Kanika. I shall be speaking about number four. I've made a video before also on number four with just the basics in it. Maybe I repeat a few things in this video regarding number four because of certain traits that repeatedly known to us. But let's start with knowing them as how their nature is. Number four people do not get influenced very easily by anybody. Nobody can take them for a ride. They are very, very cautious and very, very stubborn also, adamant about how they think, and nobody can change their way of thinking. If they have a certain way of perceiving things, they themselves will change their mindset, but nobody else can try to do that for them. They are very outspoken. They have no filters. They just say anything, anytime, whenever they feel. I mean, nobody can stop them also. If there's a family member also with them and they try to calm that person down and tell him not to voice what he's thinking or saying, they will still say it. And due to which people do not really understand them and they find them very weird. They're very good critics, but if somebody criticizes them, they don't like it. And this is the thing that I had said for number one also. I had said to you that number one and number four are two sides of a coin. So the same similarity number four has like number one, that they can't handle criticism at all. And they do not like being corrected. They are all the time ready to, it's like they are ready with the guards up. कि किसी भी समय I need to go into a battle, so I should be ready. Which of course doesn't happen, and one has to be at least diplomatic in certain places, especially if it's your workplace or your family. But they do not bother about these kind of things. They can go to any extent to, even if they have to lose everything of theirs to prove themselves right, they will do so. The whole world could be on one side thinking about a certain thing, but if a number four has a different viewpoint about a certain thing, they will stick to it. Whether they are alone on one side and the rest of the world is on one side. Because they don't even realize that since they're standing alone and give it a thought that maybe I could be wrong and maybe the others are right, thing is missing in them. They don't think about it at all. They have a very good side to them when it comes to being there for people who work under them. They have a soft corner for them. They like to help them. As I said before, they can go and fight with their boss or their senior in favor of the people who are working below him, if him or her, if there is anything unjust being done with those people. So they are difficult people. They do make a lot of money and very hardworking and regimented also. But that is not the only thing that is going to help them sail through life. They have to, temperament is one thing that keeps you connected with other people. And when others are going to be in touch with you or want to have to talk to you about something, they have to think so many times before bringing up any conversation. because they do not know what kind of answer they'll get. So this is one thing that they need to work on. But I don't think they can do anything about it, because they are designed that way, and people who know them very well, or their family members, would understand them the best. They are difficult for other people, but yes, even for the family. But then they have their good sides also, because of which their family is very close to them also and values them for whatever they are. For them, it is not important where they are and where they've reached. For them, it is more important to be right all the time, which hits back at times. In fact, with number four mostly. But what to do? You can't help it. So you have to cope with it and deal with it. And if we talk about their shortcomings or their drawbacks, I said before also, I think, that they're always right. Number four is a very controversial number. A person who has a number four would usually be in the middle of controversy, or maybe would go through some legal issues or conflicts which are uncalled for, but because of their temperament being so aggressive, it's difficult to control them. If they feel they're right, then nobody can convince them to feel that maybe there could be another side to something. So this is one thing that usually comes in their way, in their path, and doesn't let them reach those heights where they could have reached. You could say that their trusting factor for people is very, very, very limited. They do not trust in everybody and do not rely on anybody. They are always looking with suspicion and doubt as to what the other person may be doing, thinking, saying. But if they do trust, then they trust for life. That is a good thing about them. Because of them being such people, have lesser friends, and lesser people understand them. So they should keep away from anywhere where there is anything happening, because at times they go and stand up for others also. It may not be of concern to them, or it may not be a matter of theirs, but they will butt in and come in the middle of a situation or an issue which has nothing to do with them, but because they believe in justice and they feel that if anybody is being unjust with anybody, then without even knowing the issue, without even understanding the matter, they will go and stand with the person who's at the receiving end. So this is also one thing that matlab, it's like throwing the axe on their foot themselves. But you can't do anything about it. Number fours are like that. But of course, they all have good sides to them also. Very few people understand them, but they don't care. They don't care. If they don't wish to do a certain thing, or they don't wish to be nice to someone, they will not. They will function the way they wish to. So this is something that can at times hamper a lot of relationships of theirs. They continue. And as I said before, number four are very difficult to understand. Everybody cannot understand a number four. And a suggestion for number four is that a number four, if and when getting married, should usually marry a number one, because that is the only number that you could say is friendly number of theirs and could understand their psychology and bear up with them. So rest, of course, whatever is lying in store will happen, but preferably if you can. And usually it is seen that number fours do get married to a number one, whether it's their destiny number or whether it's their birth number. So it evens out, but if it doesn't, then their marriages are usually not very easygoing, and they tend to have a lot of struggles, not only within the house but outside the house also. So it's just their temperament that they need to keep a check and hold on to their horses whenever they get, on a high horse, and they forget that. That warriorship comes within them. They're ready to fight. In fact, this trait is more of a number 9, where they have that warriorship qualities. But number 4 also, they with their guards and up with their guns up and ready to attack. But yes, some number 4s get along very well with most people. It just depends upon how the other person accepts them. But it's always more the other person accepting them before they accept the other person. So that is why they don't have too many friends. It is usually seen that number 4 people, they make their closest people their enemies also at times, because people who may be nearest and dearest to them may become their biggest enemies also, because of the temperament that they have. Those people also, they maintain a lot of enmity for number 4, because number 4, when parting from anybody, as I said, they're very vocal about what they want to say, and they don't spare, and they're usually known for hitting below the belt. So then if they're separating from a very dear person or a very close family member, their own children or their own spouse also, they can create a lot of negativity in the house and cause problems for themselves also. So this is one thing that they need to keep a watch on. If they just watch out for this, then I think they would not face so many problems in life, which can be avoided, because temperament plays a very important role in your life, and diplomacy should be a small portion of your temperament when needed. Number 4 people, they have a quality which is that they're very resourceful. They know how to use their sources, and they know how to have work executed. Like, they know the means of how to reach out where, for what. If anything needs to be done at a certain point, whether at their workplace or at the home front, anywhere, they know where to approach, whom to approach, how to approach, and they have this quality of having everything done and executed. Whether they have it done in a maybe stern or aggressive way, but they know how to reach out for having things done for themselves or for their family. And they would make very good, they make very good union leaders. Usually people who are a number 4 would either be a head of a union or a protester's head of the protesting group, or maybe leadership, or like being in politics. Because I think you need such people, where those people who don't think and talk and just say anything. And most people usually do not say anything to such people because they are scared of the fact that this person can rip my respectability anytime and make me feel so low and put me down. So they don't like to mess with them. It's not that 4 take this advantage, it's their temperament. So you can't say that they're taking advantage of someone's softness. Have this ability to reach high in life, but the number of years that they have to themselves for attainment of anything good is limited. They could reach a certain height and go up very high, and then suddenly also have a major fall, which bring them crumbling or falling down, and then they're not able to stand up and be back into the same situation again. And their lives are like a jigsaw puzzle, it's zigzag. You can't say that there's stability in their life. Sorry, I can't help it. This is about the numbers 4, so I have to let you know about the shortcomings also. Though of course, every number has its plus points also. This one also does have, but the temperament ruins most of things for them. And their certain years will go very well, and the certain years will go very troublesome because of this trait of theirs. So, in this entire talk that I've had about number 4, I think we come to a conclusion that they should control their way of talking, their anger, their short temperedness, their reasons for all the time being in conflict and controversy. Because if that goes, then most likely their lives will go smoothly. There shall be less havoc in their lives. But that does not mean that this applies to all number 4s. Yes, to a certain extent, these traits are going to be there in number 4. But that does not mean that all number 4s are going to be like that. And that also plays a role. Why? Because maybe your destiny number is a very good number for you. And either your zodiac number is very good, or maybe your name spelling is very good, going in favor of you. So then that person's temperament may not at all be similar to what I had just said about number 4. So it all depends on from person to person, but most number 4s are like this. All I can say is they need to change as much as they can. But when they're not ready to listen to anybody in their own household or to themselves, then it's a difficult task to control them. Let's talk about their careers. Now, certain places, this kind of temperament is a quality. It could be a thing that in certain places it is not liked by people, but it could be beneficial in certain careers, like being on administrative posts or maybe in the field of agriculture, technology, and science, leadership of any kind, where they need to stand in front and be daring enough to take a stand. So, actually, if you see, I think administration, anything related to administration or controlling things where you need a stern person or you need a tough person to be there, they fit in very well. So they should usually focus on such kind of jobs and try to stick to these kind of jobs. Now, easy money does not suit them at all. And they do try to make money by betting or by going into share market or gambling, which is a big no-no for them. They should not at all ever invest their money in shares or mutual funds or maybe wanting to earn quick money because they are impulsive and they wish to make money very fast. So they feel this is an easy way to make money. And it is for some people, it does thing, but for number 4, it's a big no. Never try it. You could lose all your wealth in trying to attain or achieve more money in life. So if you are on a job or whatever business that you're doing and it's suiting you, you should stick to it and not try to go beyond your means to make more money so that you can trap yourself into a situation where you lose everything of yours. So this is one thing that they need to be very careful of. So anybody ever encourages a number 4 to indulge in anything like this, number 4 should be aware of the fact that these things are not meant for them. And especially children who are number 4, good adults also, but children also of number 4 would want to make quick money, be a very big disadvantage for them. This could affect their entire lives. It is a difficult number to cope with for themselves also, because they're not content with what they're doing. They don't even know that they need to be within themselves to see that what is the actual reason for them not being able to reach where they want to. So if they develop this capability, they can do very well. Money doesn't come to them always very easily. So jobs, as I had mentioned before, should be taken more into consideration rather than, just doing anything. Where they are away from people. If they are amongst people, supervisor. Of course, some people will say, me a supervisor? Why? Why? My standard is not that. No. The point is that you have that ability to control things. And there's certain areas where your kind of people are needed. So you can fit in there. I don't think it should matter to you, because when you're born with this number and you have to carry this number with you all your life, then you have to work on yourself also, so that for survival and be able to take care of your family. Now the numbers that are lucky for them. I had said, I think, just a while back that number 1 and number 4 are supposedly the most lucky numbers for each other. But still, at times, number 1 and number 4 can be anti each other also. So very unpredictable. But if number 4 wants to fall back on any number, any other numbers, then there are number 2 and number 7, because number 1, number 2, number 4 and number 7 are considered one family in numbers. So they are considered as a group. So if they are as a group, so that means they are at each other's benefit and shall be there. Though number 1 at times would go in their favor and at times may be anti them, because number 4, if it has advantages with a number 1 that they get along the best, then there are other things like 4 could give an advantage to 1 for gain, for financial gain, prosperity and all that. But then on the other side, number 4 has certain tendency of going through some mishappenings and accidents, or maybe illness or something such that would affect them if they are associated with number 1. So whenever they wish to do something to their advantage, they should remember that they should only do it on dates which are total of 2 and 7. Like number 2, number 11, number 20 or 29. Or if you talk about 7, 16, 25. So these are the numbers that are safer days for them to function on. Because if they don't function on these dates, then their own year and date is not suitable for them. Because whenever they come to a year when it is going to be a number 4, it's total, like 2020, the year number 4. So that was anyway a very unlucky year for the whole world, because number 4 is a number of illness also, and respiratory problems and mishappenings. So whenever their date of that, the running year or their running age comes to a 4, or a date that comes to a 4, they should be watchful and careful, because things will not go in favor of them. Like for some reason, if they're wanting to do something, they may miss their flight that day, they may have a breakdown of their car, or maybe miss their flight, or things like that. But some obstacle will come their way on a date like of number 4. So they should try to keep away from these dates. And the colors that are very good for them are blue, purple, violet, and even yellow and orange. Because number 1, as we know, is the number of the sun, and number 1 and number 4 are two sides of a coin. So yellow and orange being the colors of the sun will also do good to them who are number 4s. So they just need to be watchful and extract maximum that they can from the number that they have, because whatever gains that they can have from their number, they should try to focus on them. Anybody who believes in numerology and is watching any video on number 4 should try to introspect and think that if there are certain things that everybody is saying about me, then why not be within myself and see that where all I can change things. So I think I've said quite a bit about number 4, and I'm very sorry that I've said a few negative things, but this is the story and history of number 4. I would love to change it if it was in my means. But anyway, number 4 also do very well. Who says number 4 doesn't do well? Number 4 also do very well. It's also your destiny that plays a role. But important, one very important thing: do not live in a house number 4. Do not drive a car which has a number 4. Just keep away from 4 as much as you can. So I shall end this here, and we'll talk about the rest of number 4. Hopefully there will be nicer things that I shall say in my next episode on number 4, and I'll prepare for my next video. Hope you've taken it with a pinch of salt and taken it well in your stride, because though it does have issues, but then every number has. Some people are born with the best numbers, but they have a problem in life. So it's not necessary that everything in your life is going to be, like running low or being hindrance in your life. Things could be that number 4 doesn't have that impact on you. So I was just talking in general that it does have on certain people. And if it does on certain people, they should work on it. So see you in my next video, and do see the others that I have already uploaded. And I hope I haven't offended anybody regarding this number, because I haven't made up anything. It's all what I know. I said it. So please relate to it and take it in a good way. Thank you.